If you're one of those millions and billions of people who don't know what their Dharma is, who don't really know what they should be doing with their life or what their nature is and how to employ it, then watch this video, because I've taught this for many years and I have a few exercises that for some people, actually within a minute, they get it. They understand exactly who they are, what their nature is, and what they should be doing. Before I give you the exercise, let's just talk about what is Dharma and why it's important to discover your Dharma. Now, you might say, well, whatever my guru tells me to do, whatever my temple president tells me to do, whatever Prabhupada wants me to do, that's what I should do, and I don't have to think beyond that. Which is great in a sense, especially if you live in a temple, that's the requirement. But it's not that we don't want you to think, and it's not that we don't want you to use your creativity. It's not that we don't want you to use your resources that Krishna has given you. We want you to take those resources, your abilities, your talents, your nature, what inspires you, and use that in Krishna service. And something I've seen that's very interesting, maybe you've seen it, some people have surrendered themselves right out of devotional service. They've surrendered them. They were so surrendered, they surrendered right out of the Hare Krishna movement. How did they do that? They burned out. They didn't connect with what was important to them. One woman who was a guitarist, female guitarist, singer, songwriter. Sometimes we had a band many years ago, like 20 years ago. We'd form a band, play at festivals, and she was in the temple and she'd play with us. So later she went and took over another temple and her health wasn't good. And after that, many years after that, I said, what about your health? And she said, I went to an Ayurvedic doctor and he told me that I'm not healthy because I'm not playing music. So we have a nature, like Krishna told Arjuna, you can't be a Brahmin because you have a nature, you're going to use it. You'll act as a Brahmin anyway. So your nature is like a resource, like you have wealth. You can't just say, well, I have wealth, but why spend it? I'll just keep it in the bank. No. You have the wealth of ability, you have the wealth of inspiration. There was one lady who said, the graveyard is the richest place in the world because it's where everyone's great ideas end up when they're dead that they never did. So as the saying goes, don't die with your music in you. So yes, when you're a brahmachari, you're living in the temple, you're being trained. Yes, you have to obey the president, the temple commander. That's your training. But as you progress, you start to become inclined towards a certain service because it's your nature, and certain services will inspire you. And Prabhupada said, when you're inspired in your service, you'll be inspired in your sadhana. But if you're not inspired and you go on indefinitely uninspired, you will then surrender yourself possibly right out of bhakti. So, what are my secrets to finding your nature? Well, one secret, and this is going to sound funny, just ask your mother. And father, what am I like? What did I do as a kid? What do you think is my nature? I'm always telling my daughter. She doesn't believe me. But anyway, she'll find out when she's older. And when she's older, say, yeah, I should have listened to you. You were telling me. So you may not want to listen. But your parents, they observe your nature for your whole life. But there's another interesting one. And I think one of the reasons that a lot of us don't find our nature is because we feel obligated to be a certain way, to impress people, live up to certain standards. And also in our careers, we're thinking about, well, where's this financial security? I can't just do whatever I want. I've got to get a job that's secure. So a lot of people don't do what they want because they're thinking practically what will make money, not what I'd love to do. And other people are thinking, well, this is what other people want me to do. This is what they expect of me. So they never really gave thought to what is their nature and what they would like to do. So in order to get over that, just so you can be more connected, if you need to be more connected, if you're not there yet, imagine the country you're living in passed a new law. And the new law said that every job will give equal pay. And the pay it will give is sufficient to live a very comfortable life. So there's no question of money, of looking to find a job where you can make more money because you can't, but you won't need more because you'll have more money than you need. So now, whatever you do, you will get the same pay. And the government stipulates that you must work. And they give you a card, and you check in with this card. And at the end of the month, it has all the hours. And if you've made the hours, then you go to the bank, and then they give you your money. And everybody gets the same money. And the government stipulates that it doesn't matter what you do, but you have to be working. So you can take any job. And whatever job you would like to do, the government will place you. So that being the case, start to think, well, what would you do? What would you like to do if you could do anything? Would it be to work for a movie company, or work as a journalist, or as a writer, as a musician, as an artist? If I could do anything, what would I do? So you've just stripped your mind of any practical consideration, because a lot of times when you think practically, you can't think creatively, and you never really discover who you are. Now you might say, but I can't do that, and I have to earn a living. Okay, that's fine. But if you can't figure out how to do that and earn a living, at least you can take that inspiration and use it for Krishna. Maybe you're a creative person. Maybe you're a manager, a leader, an organizer, a detail person, an accountant, a numbers person, a go-to person. Just tell me what to do and I'll get it done person. You can do that for Krishna. So turn everything off and just imagine you could do anything. What would it be? And a lot of times when Prabhupada dealt with devotees, he would say, what do you want to do? No, Prabhupada. What do you want me to do? No, I want to know what you want to do. Because sometimes it's very necessary to engage in something that's really sweet, that's really inspiring for you, because you just get so much energy from it. And it helps you so much in your Krishna consciousness. And we don't want a society of people who are very dutiful but very bored and uninspired. That's not Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.